And welcome back to Glitter Budget with your hosts, Ann Jeanette.
And Jess.
And in today's episode, we are continuing our sci-fi series that we never took a break from whatsoever.
None. Literally none.
Not even a little bit. No time has passed whatsoever.
Nope.
But we're going back with Tremors.
Yeah. Cult classic, baby.
Yeah. Came out in 1990, directed by Ron Underwood, written by a slew of people. Actually, no, just 3.
Like, I don't remember there being that many writers.
There were 3 people that wrote the story, and 2 of those 3 also wrote the screenplay. So
Okay.
S.S. Wilson, Brent Maddock, and Ron Underwood wrote the story. S.S. Wilson and Brent Maddock also wrote the screenplay.
Gotcha.
But it is starring Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, Finn Carter, Michael Gross, Reba McEntire, who would have thunk of that, Robert Jane, Charlotte Stewart, Tony Gennaro, Ariana Richards, Richard Marcus, Victor Wong, and others. There weren't a lot of people in this movie because it was,
Well, I mean, it was based on a town of 14 people.
Yep. Perfection, right? Perfection, Nevada?
Yes. Yep.
I don't even know if I would ever want to go to a place like Tremors notwithstanding.
Yeah.
If I ever knew of a place that only had 14 people in it, I'd be like, are they all related?
Yep. Yeah, that would absolutely be my first question.
I would not want to, I would not.
Their social skills can't be up to par.
They can't. And just because, Burt and his wife, they moved there because of the geographic isolation.
Yep. Got that, was it mountains to the east of us and just whatever the fuck to the west?
Yeah, they're like in a valley.
Yeah.
And there's just mountains all around them. And it takes, I think it's like 40 miles to the nearest town, which is Bixby, which is also Samsung's assistant.
Oh.
Yeah. You know that button that you accidentally press all the fucking time on your
Yep.
phone? And you're like,
I hate
God
it."
damn it, Bixby. That's the other town. That's the closest town. So, anyway, Tremors, which the poster for this movie is, for me, I think it's kind of reminiscent to Jaws.
It is. And there's another scene in Tremors that was very similar to Jaws as well.
Yes, when Walter dies.
Yeah. So it was kind of like he's getting eaten by the graboid, but kind of like flailing back and forth. I don't know. Yeah, there was a couple of like overlapping themes and feelings.
Yeah, but on the poster, the graboid looks like it has almost like alligator crocodile teeth, which they don't really have in the movie. And I cannot remember in Tremors 2, they're like bipedal. They have legs.
Yeah.
I don't remember when I know I kind of do. I kind of remember Tremors 2 and them like being birthed out of the wormy guys.
Yeah, they kind of just like threw it up.
Yeah.
Blech.
That's gross.
I liked how the special effects team, when they were making the graboids. What?
No, I think I remember what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. So, when you first, actually, you don't even first see them. You see like their tentacle like things first because they come out of the sand to like feel around. But originally, I think it was just supposed to be one, and they do kind of look like dicks.
Yes.
So there only being one did not help that at all. So we need to add more.
Yeah, but they were supposed to have like a skin that retracts.
Yeah.
But like no one in the cast and crew could keep a straight face because of how blatantly phallic everything was. So that's when they changed the design. They're like, okay, there's gonna be snake things that come out of its mouth.
Yeah.
Other than it looking like foreskin.
I wonder who came up, like, who is responsible for coming up to the design, and as they were coming up with it, that didn't click initially, you know what I mean? Like, it took the whole crew to be like, dude, what are you doing here?
It was definitely some guy that thought that he had some genius idea, not fully realizing subconsciously that he's obsessed with dicks.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, that goes without saying.
I don't know. This is like one of my favorite movies of growing up. Like I watched like quite a few like B-rated sci-fi films, and for whatever reason, I watch it quite a bit. And this was like on like TNT or just cable all the time.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi too. Yes, every time it was on, I would watch it.
I think like for this, I think it was filmed in 1989.
Yes.
The effects I thought were like really good. Like I love movies that were made back in that time, 90s, 80s, whatever, because nothing was overly digitized. It didn't have the really shitty CGI.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to like really good CGI now. But they had to make everything. So they made the graboids.
Those things weren't small.
No, they were not.
And the whole town. I mean, it was like a crew of 80 and 5 months for them to construct that little town.
Yeah. Which is very cool. And they only had what, 2 interior shots? Everything else was exterior?
Yep.
It was Walter's store and Burt's compound.
Yeah. I don't know. Burt cracked me the fuck up.
I loved him.
Yeah.
Him and, oh my God, what's his wife's name?
Reba McEntire was his wife.
That's what I know.
That was the first movie she'd ever starred in, or not starred in, but had appeared in.
Yeah.
And I guess the director was kind of hesitant on casting any like stars that were in the music industry. She basically kind of like begged for the audition. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you're a natural."
Yeah, and he
Perfect.
She blew him away, and he was just like, "All right, great, you're gonna be Bert's wife," and yeah, she did very well. That's where I first saw Reba McEntire when I was growing up. I did
Same.
not
Yep.
know that she was a singer.
Neither did I.
So when I started hearing some of her music, I was like, "Holy shit, that actress is a singer!" And no, it was the other way around. And but yeah, I thought that it was really. I don't know. I still like this. I still like this movie to this day.
It cracks me up every time.
I think it's funny now rewatching it. You can tell when they dubbed over some of the F-bombs because they had to in order to get the rating to stay at PG-13 instead of like the only reason that it would have had that they were going to give it an R rating was because of the language, which we talked about a long time ago.
Yes. Oh my God, so long ago.
How ridiculous that we find it that the way that they do the rating system is that movies will get a harsher rating based on language rather than violence.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
It really is. There's no reason for it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, like you could have 2 F-bombs in a movie in order to keep it at a PG-13 rating, but as soon as that third one is there, R. It's rated R for language.
Somehow, that third one, over the top, super offensive.
Yeah, no, it is.
Makes women clutch their purses.
And their pearls.
Mm.
And then...
So anytime, like, I didn't really realize that, because, like, I never watched it in theater. Like, anytime I watched it, it was on cable.
Yeah.
So I assumed that was just the edited version, and just not how it was released, like Mother Humper. Mother
Humper, and... They say like, can you fly? Like, can you fly, you sucker?
Yeah.
But like, if you watch Kevin Bacon, if you read his lips, he is saying fucker.
Yes.
But Mother Humper is funny. And what the shit?
Yeah.
Which like I say what the shit because that's funny to me.
Yeah.
But he did not say that.
And like you said, if you're reading lips, like you can't mistake. Mm-hmm. Can't mistake it.
I think if they had chosen shots where the person saying these things was not seen, it would have been fine. Like you could make it sound not so bad as long as like when you're dubbing it over, it's not like take that, Mother Humper. Like you're keeping the same levels and everything, and it's not like completely obvious that you did it in the studio in post production.
Right.
But I don't even view this as like a B movie.
It didn't do well upon first release, and then once it hit rentals, when you could rent movies and VHS and all that, it like tripled its box office release.
Yeah.
So, but I think it is technically, for whatever reason, I think because it didn't do well in the box office, classified as a B rated.
Well.
And I know like initially when Kevin Bacon agreed to do the movie, he was like incredibly distraught It's like, I don't want to do a sci-fi monster movie. Just, after he did it, interviews, he's like, it's the most fun I've ever had on set my entire life.
Yeah.
That was an amazing experience.
Oh my God. And then what I found kind of sad, Michael Gross, who played Burt, was the only person that showed up to the 30th anniversary.
I know, right?
And I was like, what? Why wouldn't anyone else? And it was the beginning of 2020, so I don't know if...
Wow.
It was in January of 2020, though. So I don't know if that was like... if people were just starting to get, like, hesitant, but nothing closed down yet.
Yeah. That is sad. Oh.
But yeah. So, I mean, I don't know where everyone else was, but...
I don't know.
Whatever. They deserve to show up, you fuckers.
I hope it wasn't one of those situations where he was just like, hey, guys, gonna meet you there, right? Definitely gonna show up. And he's just, like, looking around like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I hope it wasn't like that. I would feel really, really bad.
Right?
Oh, my God. Yeah, but once... I don't remember the story of Tremors 2. I was upset that Kevin Bacon was not in any of the other Tremors movies.
Yeah.
But Earl was.
Yeah.
And I think Burt as well.
Burt, yeah. I know he was definitely in the second one.
Yeah.
Because they do... Somebody calls him for whatever, I think, under the suspicion that they're back or whatever. And I think they did a close-up of him, like, answering the phone, and then they do a pan-out, and he had taken the head of one of the graboids that they had killed and just, like, mounted on the wall.
What I find funny, okay, speaking of Burt, in his compound, he has the wall of guns.
Right.
Every single one of them is loaded.
I noticed that, too. And I was just like, that is really poor gun ownership.
Yes. Because, like, the only one that he had to load was the elephant gun.
I was kind of like, why didn't you go for that one first?
As soon as you saw the fucking size of it,
right?
Why wouldn't you? If you have it.
Yeah. It was kind of somewhat, I found it slightly comical, though, that, like, you don't really see it until he goes for it. So it's just like, you know, I think they had, like, the shotgun, handgun, and they just kind of, like, work their way up.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
You're not fucking around.
It was kind of like just out of the shot.
Yeah.
Like you pan just a little bit and you're like, oh, hey, this big ass fucking elephant gun.
Forgot I had this.
Yeah.
Right. Silly.
Oh my God. But yeah, I was flabbergasted when I was watching it. I'm like, every single one is loaded.
Not only was it loaded, safeties weren't on.
Nothing. I mean, it was convenient for that specific occasion.
Yeah.
But God forbid.
Anybody could just walk in there. Yeah, right. Oh, God. Right?
Fuck that kid, though.
Seriously. Where was his parents? Was there, like, a line of dialogue that indicated where they were?
No, I think they just assumed, people just had to assume that they were in Las Vegas, like, constantly leaving him alone, which is why he's such an asshole.
I guess that makes sense. You know, I, like, watching it when I was younger, never questioned.
I didn't either. I always, for whatever reason, thought that he was, like, Mindy's brother.
Okay.
The little girl's.
Yeah.
And who she's in Jurassic Park, by the way.
Yes.
And probably one of the few movies where you see a pogo stick used so much.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, in a town that small, they probably got to think of, like, what are kids going to fucking do with their time?
Yeah.
And at that day and age, pogo sticks were fairly popular.
Yeah, I guess.
And it plays right into, like, the scene.
It does. Although, slightly unbelievable that, like, so Kevin Bacon tackles her to the ground. The pogo stick is still standing.
Right? Yep.
For the graboid to bring it
down.
to, like, bring it down. And so some of the things, I'm like, I don't know. It's unbelievable how it could have, like, sucked them down.
Yeah.
And propelled it back up through the ground. But also, like, I could see in some ways how them moving through the ground would loosen the dirt enough in order to, like, have some kind of, like, cave-in
Yeah.
But none of that shit happened. Do you know what I mean? Except for like the car in the beginning.
With the car, and then kind of with the with, my God, words. With the store.
Yeah. Eventually,
yeah.
But any of the other stuff, like there weren't little trenches because of how close they were to the surface.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I was kind of like a little bit like,
Yeah, maybe it was like a production / cost time thing. Could you imagine, like, special effects wise, since they were, I mean, they made those things, they made the town and everything else, to, like, fuck, now I gotta make these goddamn ton of, like, evidence that they were here all over the fuck place.
Yeah, well, they would have had to been real fucking clever with how they did the scenes then.
Yeah. I remember watching that too, like when they got stranded on the rocks.
Oh yeah.
And they were just like, "Hey, we've been which conveniently those poles were there. Like,
yes.
Where the fuck did they come from?"
I was gonna say that. I was watching it. I'm like, convenient that these very structurally sound poles,
yeah,
of unknown material, right by these rocks that they are at.
Just, I don't know, man. Someone's watching from above. We're like, I'm gonna place these poles here. They're gonna need them later.
Yeah.
But watching as a kid, though, I'm like, that looks like so much fun. Ah.
Yeah, I never wanted a pole vault before then.
You do now, though, don't you?
Oh yeah.
I mean, even now as a job, I'm like, fuck it.
That
pole
first,
vaulting off some shit.
The first attempt by Earl, though, that would have been us.
Oh yeah, that would have been us the first couple of tries.
I don't think we would have survived.
Probably not. I feel like to survive, it's a lot of cardio and climbing. Maybe with the climbing part, but the amount of cardio and just thinking quick on your feet.
Yeah.
You'd be the first to die.
That's something we should think about with all of these other sci-fi movies. Would we survive in these movies? Like Starship
not.
Troopers.
Oh,
we would have been so dead.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Dead. I think Serenity, we might have survived if we stayed on the ship and never left.
Yeah, possibly. We could have found ourselves useful in other ways that didn't put us, directly in harm's way.
Yeah, but the endings,
the
fight near the end.
Yeah, dead.
Full
Cannon fodder.
Yep. It would have been Reaver shit.
Oh yeah.
But in this one, for sure, we graboid goo.
I feel like if we did manage, we would be like the poor guy who climbed up on the tower.
Yeah.
I feel like if we did manage to climb up on something, we'd be too scared to get down. We would just die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think that seems like our likely demise. Which is sad, but
realistic.
It is.
I guess there was supposed to be like a whole scene leading up to how we got up there, like to show it.
Yeah.
A couple of scenes actually. I think they filmed that one, and then they had talked about doing a couple of others, but they didn't want to give away like the big reveal.
Yeah.
And get too much away. They wanted like to build up suspense, so it was kind of just this random like, how'd this dude get up here?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was cool the way that they kind of. I think the director, what he wanted to do originally was to have it seem like it was an actual person killing these people.
That's right. Yeah.
But the studio wanted it to be advertised as a monster movie, so they had to add in other scenes. I think with Rhonda being chased by it, and almost getting attacked, and like other scenes, like I think with the sheep and everything like that.
Yeah, the sheep, the couple that were building their house.
Yeah.
Got sucked under. Oh.
But I thought that would have been a really cool way to do it, like making it seem like it was an actual like serial killer. And the scene where Earl and Val are like, they're trying to get to Bixby, but the way it's not blocked yet, but is that when they found Edgar?
Yeah. Yeah, because they're trying to get out and they just keep running into like
people that are dead, and they're like, they turn around and they're telling the construction people, like, there's a killer on the loose. Yeah. Like, I would think that anyone in their own right mind would have been like, that dude's fucking nuts.
Yep. That dude's off his rocker. He's drunk, like, whatever.
Yeah. And then that other guy witnessed his buddy getting dragged off and then ate up.
It's traumatizing, man.
Yeah. I would definitely get out of the construction business if I weren't dead. But he died, so.
I mean, he's out of the construction business, right?
He is. One way or another, he did get out.
Yes.
He
ain't doing nothing else, no.
No, he ain't.
There's always an out, though.
There is. Death is always an option. Don't listen to that, kids. Bad advice.
A dark turn.
Bad advice.
It took a turn real quick.
Yeah, it did. Oopsie poopsie. But yeah, I think this one still holds a special place in my heart. Like, I remember other people, like, making fun of it. Like, ugh, Tremors. I'm like, fuck is wrong with Tremors?
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Elizabeth Olsen says that it's one of her favorite movies. Okay? The Scarlet Witch. Yeah. And I love her.
She's fantastic.
She is. Have you been watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier since him?
Yes, I have been.
I haven't, so don't spoil it for me. Is it almost over? Because I got to binge.
There's a couple more episodes left. It is towards the end.
All right. Because that's what I do. I wait until it's done, and then I just
I wish I could do that. Because I feel like it would be slightly more enjoyable. I can't
wait a week. I don't know how we did it back in the day. Before streaming? How?
Do you remember, like, before streaming or before you could pause live TV, like, if you had a pee during a commercial break, your ass was, like, booking it to the bathroom, squeezing it out as fast as you could, booking it back to the couch so you didn't miss anything.
Like, just vaulting over furniture and stuff, like, literally running into, like, walls and shit, like, sliding. Yeah. Kicking the cat in the way. And yeah, it was, man, it was intense.
It was.
And
it was. If you had snacks, like, you better get your fucking snacks ready, in order. Better make sure it's a snack you fucking want. Like, you gotta commit. You gotta commit to that next half an hour.
Yeah. So, in some ways, I don't miss all the things from back in the day.
Yeah.
But we are definitely spoiled with live TV, being able to pause and, like, streaming.
I mean, remember when DVR first came out?
Holy fuck.
That was for the rich people, though.
It was for rich people. TiVo? Only the wealthiest of wealth had TiVo. And then once it was available for the common folk, that's when, like, streaming was bigger.
It started to come out, yeah. We really got off topic.
That's
I don't know why anyone. No one should be surprised, but
when are we on topic? Or kind of like squirrel. All the time. Remember when Netflix was just DVDs?
Yes.
That you had to get in the mail. Children, listen up. Netflix was not streaming.
Nope. They didn't have any of their own original material.
Mm-hmm.
You had to. I know. I think you could only get up to 3 movies at a time.
And you had to wait until they were available again. Like, so this was like rental.
It just was mailed to you.
Elevated.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, but you still had to wait until a copy was available to be mailed to you.
Yep. And then I think eventually when they started to offer streaming, you had to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
So you had to, like, pick. You either had to pick both, where you could do, like, the limited options they had for streaming, but still have the DVDs, or just pick one.
Yes. And then, yeah, I think there's still different. Yeah, no, there were the tiers, either DVD or that, and then I think once they started was it right when they started advertising streaming, or before, when they were renting DVDs out that Redbox was a thing. When did Redbox come around?
I want to say probably when they either started to offer the tiered. I think it was around the tiered service.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
There are still people that will Redbox.
Oh, yeah.
So renting movies is still something that people want to do. So I'm very upset that there's only one Blockbuster left in the world.
It's still going strong, though.
Good. I wish it were here.
Yeah.
I would be there every Friday night.
Right?
That was the tits.
Oh, yeah. I would get so mad, because I was a spoiled little bitch, if one of my parents was, like, home from work later than they typically were on a Friday. Because you want to get down there as soon as you fucking could to get that new release.
Yeah. And,
you immediately go to the back wall. They're all just there in their glory.
And, like, let's just say, remember when, I don't know if you were there at a Blockbuster when Eyes Wide Shut came out?
Yes.
Or, like, American Beauty, and it's just a wall of a woman's torso.
Yep.
You're like, oh. But it was, oh man, I would get lost in the Blockbuster. I could be there 4 hours just browsing and seeing what I wanted to rent. And then they started offering where, like, you would rent, like, 2 movies or whatever, and you could get, like, popcorn, candy, and sodas. It was all part of, like, a deal for, like, $20. You're like, this is where it's at, baby. Date night right here.
Yep. And I'm sure one of those movies that I rented at some point was Tremors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
I also, when the Blockbuster down in State College was going out of business, and...
How much did you buy?
Not a lot. It was an obnoxious amount.
Yeah, I know.
But you got it. It was funny because you got it in the Blockbuster packaging, but with, like, the DVD's insert in it.
Yeah.
But when you open it, it says, like, there's the Blockbuster logo in there and everything, and it was amazing. And I did get a couple of them. It really sucked when you'd rent the movie, but they wouldn't take the yellow lock out of it.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how many people just ended up, like, somehow cutting it open, just giving it back. Like, did you really?
Yeah. I wanted to watch it. You only had, like, a certain amount of time to watch it.
That's true. Usually it was 24 hours, usually. Yeah. Then you got fined.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm watching this. This yellow lock thing be damned. I destroyed that thing.
Proud of you.
Me too.
All right. What are we going over next week? Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. One of my favorites.
Yes.
I was just rewatching it, the end of it today. And the opera scene always gets me.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite scene. I still tear up when she's singing.
Oh.
Before she gets into the upbeat part. But I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's just opera music might just do that for me. I don't know.
Oh, is that something you...
Because I'm lame.
There's nothing lame about it.
But I would definitely, let's just say live performances in general, no matter what it is.
Yeah, if it's good.
I will tear up because I'm so moved. Oh. Loser. But yes, Fifth Element. Are we going to do Galaxy Quest still?
Sure. Fuck it, why not?
So we still have those two. And like we said, there has not been any time that has passed.
None.
Between then and now.
It's still March.
It is. It's still March, and it is not going to be May shortly.
Nope. Fucking hell. All right. Well.
We've had some doozies.
Shit happens.
It does. And a lot of the time it happens to us, and we don't know how to respond.
Nope.
We're just like, pause!
Yeah. Everything must freeze. Everything.
But anyway, yeah, Fifth Element is next. And all of our social medias will be linked in the description box down below. We'll see you in our next episode.
If you like our vibe, please like and subscribe.
Wowzers!
I got you.
It's been 5 years.
I got you. Sorry.
Thanks, lady. All right. See you in the next episode. Bye.